Good morning. It is Friday, the 24th of July, and I want to read from Romans chapter 6, verses 5, 6, and 7. For if we have become united with him in the likeness of his death, certainly we shall also be in the likeness of his resurrection, knowing this, that our old self was crucified with him in order that our body of sin might be done away with, so that we would no longer be slaves to sin, for he who has died is freed from sin. I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'm going to tell you a story, and I'll ask the question again. Do you remember who you are as a Christian? I ask that question because there are times when I think we forget. And let me give you an indication of a story that happened. We were at dinner with a family many years ago, and this family's dog had passed away a week or two earlier. He had been buried in the backyard. This was in Pennsylvania. And I tell you that because I'm going to reference it, that a bear came down from the woods. In the middle of our dinner, a bear comes down from a big hill, maybe a mountain if you want to call it that, from behind their house. They had a big backyard. And he come moseying down through, and then he got into their backyard and he started sniffing around. Well, it turns out he could sniff where they had buried the dog. This upset the man of the house, and so the husband got up and took off, and he ran after and scared off the bear. Now, the bear was startled, and he took off running, and he ran back across their little brook and back up the hill, and he just kept following him up there, chasing him away, yelling at him. And then something happened when he got about halfway up that hill. The bear just stopped, and he turned around. Now, by that time, the husband had already left and made his way back toward the house. But I started thinking to myself, it's all nice until the bear remembers he's a bear. And at that point, he realizes probably not much is going to be able to touch him, especially a guy running after him yelling. I say that because every day we have to remember who we are as a Christian, that we have put the old man or woman of sin to death. And when we do that, that means we are living a different way. We are choosing to live by God's standard and not ours. And yet day by day, we forget that we have done that. We forget who we have pledged ourselves to. We forget who we have decided that we are going to live for, and begin to do things the old way. We forget who we are. We need to remember that as Christians, we have crucified that old man or woman of sin with Christ on the cross. That he went to the cross taking our place. And because he paid that debt, we will have hope in the resurrection just as he had. It's an exciting thought. But so often we end up mired in depression. We end up mired in all kinds of bad feelings about ourselves and things that we've done, or things that we end up doing in the moment, because we forget who we are. So take a little bit of time. Think about who it is, because he who has died is freed from sin. You're no longer a slave to sin if you're a Christian. Christ gave you the victory through the cross, and you acted on the plan of salvation and were obedient unto baptism. And so if you're a Christian, you have victory over sin. Live like it. Remember who you are as a Christian. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.